looking at health in a complete sense, physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually. And the spiritual was the part that we in the Caribbean added to the definition, because we recognize that faith-based organizations and churches play an important role in the community in terms of health and our well-being. Health is won or lost in the environments in which we live. And so the environments that we live are the home or the community, the school where we learn, where we work, where we recreate or take leisure, and we add where we love, because you know that HIV and sexually transmitted infections are important. And when we're talking about these things, we're talking about something that, it's a big word we call determinants of health. These are the things that contribute to our health. And a determinant of health is there are a number of factors which work together to either contribute to or they work against us being healthy. And as we said, they include the social, the economic, the environmental, the physical, and individual factors, okay? Diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, and some of the cancers. These are the things that are killing us, the leading causes of death and illness in Barbados. And these are related to how we live and the choices that we make. Because when you look at them, they're related to diet, physical inactivity, tobacco smoking. Those are the things that contribute to these diseases. And a lot of these are related to what? The choices that we make every day. What we eat or what we don't eat, how we eat it, how we cook it, whether or not we choose to exercise or not. If we smoke tobacco, you know, you put bad things into your body. These are called the lifestyle-related diseases. And these are the things that are killing us. Leptospirosis, what are we talking about? Rats. And we're finding that the number one carrier of the leptospirosis is domestic animals like dogs, because they're in the environment and they may pick up the spirochete that carries the leptospirosis. And then there's influenza that we deal with from time to time. And this is transmitted by droplet infection. So this is why we do a lot of education with you in terms of washing your hands. And if you have to sneeze or cough, you do this, you don't. Okay? Increasingly, we're also dealing with climate change and the fact that the weather patterns in the world are changing. They tell us the earth is heating up. And so we have to be aware of this and aware of the impacts that it may have. There may be a connection between climate change and dengue fever, for instance, because temperature is one of the important factors in terms of how quickly a mosquito can emerge from, go through the stages. So this is one of the things that we're looking at. Another priority is mental health. And we said in our definition that our social relationships are important. So how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about other people and how we are able to establish relationships with people is very important. And the availability of mental health resources in the community to help people to overcome problems before they go and do something that is antisocial is very important. Food safety. And I'm mentioning this because we are a culture that does what now? We eat out a lot. We're also a tourism-dependent country. And so food is an important part of how we celebrate, how we interrelate with one another. When we want to go out, we said, you know, let's go to a restaurant or go to Oysters on a Friday evening or whatever. So we have to make sure that the food supply that's there is safe. Because nowadays, no country, especially a tourism-dependent country like ours, wants to have a reputation for a place where people come and get ill. So our environmental health inspectors are very vigilant in making sure that vendors and people who prepare food are trained and they understand the need to ensure that they practice proper food preparation practices from the farm right through to the time when that food is served to you. So we need to look at what is there. But this is, you know, you're identifying one of the challenges that we have. What is available as healthy snacks is not always the healthiest option. Like, so it's easier to get the granola bar or the chips than it is to get an apple, right? And this is a challenge. And these are some of the things that the National NCD Commission, which I'm the secretary for, these are some of the things that we're working on with food manufacturers to see how can we work with them to perhaps, they can still make the chips, but reduce the salt. You have to make it taste good because people eat what tastes good. Nobody wants to eat something that doesn't taste good. You may try it once, but the next time you're not coming back to it. So this is a challenge for them in terms of how they balance their menus and the food preparation practices. Like one of the things they have said to us, for instance, is that in a canteen, they don't have the space that they would like to maybe bring in an oven. So frying things is better, is more convenient at this point. So that means that the Ministry of Education has to think forward. When they're designing schools in the future, they have to think about how are they going to design the canteen area to make sure that it has enough space to put in the equipment that can make it easier for the canteen operator to prepare food in a healthy way. As you think about what you want to do, how can you plan a project that is going to have an impact on your community and that is going to be sustainable, something that the community can carry forward when this program is over? Because it was so good and so beneficial and so impactful that we don't want to let go of this. So people in that community are going to see the value and carry it on. And you have to assess the resources that you have in that community. The human resources. Do I have people who can help me with this project? Do I have accountants? Do I have community workers? You know, who are the people in this community who can help me with this project? What are the infrastructural resources? We have places for meetings. Do we have places for exercise? Do we have places where we can go and cook? You know, what are the infrastructural resources in the community? And then what are the financial resources too? Because finances are important. Are there businesses that might like your project and that might come on board and help to give you some sponsorship, right? So you have to know the community and map your resources. How are you going to promote and disseminate your project? How are you going to get people to know about it? Now, I've seen in the past a lot of people in the program on CBC, on Morning Barbados, talking about your project. That's fine, very good. But remember, your project is what? It's based in the community. So when you go on CBC, the whole of Barbados is going to see you. But it's the people who live in that community that you want most. So you have to have a plan on two levels. You have your national plan because you want everybody to know about it, but don't forget the people in the community because they're the ones that you want to pull out on Saturday mornings to come and work with you. So you have to have a plan maybe for walking the community, or I tell him, and he's going to tell the person next to him. The politicians will tell you all politics is local, and so you have to practice that too. Have a plan for at the community level how you're going to promote and sell that project. Because at the end of the day, you want to have a good project that the community holds on to, and they will run with it. And don't forget the constituency councils. I think they're probably related or in some way involved, but I think that is a good group or a good organization that you can reach out to help you to sell it and to make it sustainable.